process of the government is just, there is a certain process which is followed. Before the budget comes, it goes through the minister Minister of Finance is the one to formulate the budget with his department. After that, he will present it to the Council of Ministers. And then it will be taken by Council of Ministers and forwarded to relevant clusters to study, and they make their report so that they know all their areas are met. After that, the Council of Ministers will now pass it for tabling. But since the first Vice President was arrested in March, up to now, the government is not working. And even if the budget will come, it will be illegal. It needs the Council of Ministers to sit to pass it to come, because the budget does not belong to one office. Like currently, the office working is the office of the economic cluster, but does not mean it's the government. The government means all ministries, including the presidency. So there is no hope of tabling it, because now if the table it will be illegal, and I think it will cause more problems.
My name, Edmond Yakani, Executive Director of SEPO. I would like to take this opportunity to appreciate our lawmakers who stood up in demanding the Minister of Finance to be summoned to the Parliament to explain why there's a delay in the process of presenting the national budget for the financial year 2025-2026. We are aware that the long recess which were given to the MPs have impacted negatively on the process of enactment of a budget for our financial year 2025-2026, and this is a total violation of the standards for enactment of a budget. And this practice is becoming regular. Every year we witness a delay of enactment of a national budget, while the policy procedures and the law demand that our budget had supposed to be enacted before 1st of July, because our financial year starts 1st of July. This practice needs to come to an end, and we appreciate those MPs that stood up in demanding compliance with the application of the law associated with enactment of a national budget, like for the financial year 2025-2026. That's a very good one. In separate development, we have seen a meeting between His Excellency President, Right Honorable Speaker, over the issue of the budget. We hope that this budget this time round will be services center, and we want to see compliance with the previous budget of the last year, financial year 2024-2025. We need to see quarterly reports presented to the Parliament before we could really pass this financial year 2025-2026. That's very important. Government agencies demonstrating compliance with financial standards and procedures and public finance standards is very important. Budget credibility is required. Budget have to be credible, and that's why we, as civil society, are demanding the National Parliament to ensure that quarterly reports of the previous budget were reported publicly, and we hope that Ministry of Finance can also publish their quarterly report. And also we need to see publicity of revenue, and specifically the revenue generating agencies that were identified by the government should come out public and report how much have they collected and remitted to a consolidated account or to a single account of the government, as President always used to demand that revenue must be centralized into one account. We are so impressed when we hear from the Commissioner General of the Revenue Authority that right now Revenue Authority have opened an account that is not withdrawable. It's only account for deposit. These are good practices, but we want to see other government agents that are generating revenue to publish how much have they collected and where have they remit this money, and how much this money is contributing to the national budget. Because this issue of deficit every year, it is a demonstration of lack of compliance and lack of respect of the law and lack of commitment towards budgetary credibility. It's very important that we need to see commitment of our government institutions into budgetary credibility and ensuring compliance with the financial standards that embrace transparency and fight corruption is very high when we are talking of enactment of the budget. And of course, as civil society, we are waiting for our public hearing that we will stand behind it. But we feel the delay of the budget is a tactful way of wasting public resources. We need you to tell us how much you're translating our tax that we have paid into services that benefit all of us as a citizen of South Sudan. Thank you very much.